You know what they say, bigger is better. Well, this is an Infiniti's latest offering into the full-size premium SUV market. It's big, as you can see, it's massive. So let's have a look around and see if it's better. Now the front is where it's at. You got this big bulbous hood. The headlights are lower down, making the hood look even more massive. Then you got the generous use of chrome and great light treatments. This is a front end that says, "Look at me." Now along the side, you have more chrome with these louvers here. This is equipped with the optional 22-inch wheels. That's right, 22-inch wheels. This thing is massive, it's big. I'm almost 5'11". This thing towers over me. Now let's go to the back, because there's something else that's really big back here. In the back, you'll find a very flat power liftgate. Now I said big, check out this bumper. It's huge. This is just something you don't see very often anymore, is an actual pronounced bumper. Is it a bad thing? I don't think so. The interior is elegant yet simple. There's a liberal use of wood grain on the steering wheel, on the door panels, and on the center console here. Now, another thing on the door panels that I really do like is the use of almost like a quilted pattern on the sides. You have a nice simple gauge cluster here. And in the center, you have an 8-inch infotainment system that's very easy to use. You have your dial. You can use it like a joystick, front and back, and you can use it as a dial as well. Hit the center for enter or OK. The graphics, in my opinion, do look a little bit dated though. Moving down, you have your HVAC system. You have dual climate control for the front, and you have separate controls for the rear. And down below here, you have heated and cooled seats, heated steering wheel, and you have 2 levers here to fold the back seats down. Now in the center here, you have tons of storage area here. You got drink holders, you have your 12-volt power outlet that covers up nicely. And another compartment that has a USB, you can cover that up. And you have your drive mode selector. Most of the time you're gonna have an auto for auto all-wheel drive, and then you got your 4 high, you push it down for 4 low if you want to take this thing off-road. And then you have your snow, your tow mode, and your traction control. One thing that I think is kind of neat is the design on the passenger side of the dash. They've kind of cut it out to make it feel like a real shallow dash, so it's kind of like a 2-step dash. It gives you the feeling of having even more room. The back seat wouldn't be a bad place to spend a lot of time on a long trip here, especially this one is equipped with DVD entertainment screens in the headrest. Now this is a 7-passenger version. You can get an 8-passenger version where the second row is a bench seat. This one has 2 captain's chairs separated by this large console. You've got a lot of storage room in the middle and the top. You have your drink holders here, and in the center, you have even more storage. So tons of room. You have heated seats in the rear as well as climate control. Now here's a little thing I have on my wish list for the QX80. I wish they would have made the seats be able to slide forward and back, kind of like they have on the QX60. Now the reason why is, as you can see here, I have a car seat attached on this captain's chair here. I have a second seat which I've left at home. Now I'm not going to put my safety seats in the back in the 3rd row because it's just too much of a pain to go in and out of and get the kids in and out of there. So I'm going to put it in the 2nd row. So if I put a second seat where I'm sitting right now, with the safety seat installed, you cannot flip the seat forward. So if you want to have grandma and grandpa on a short trip to a restaurant or something, get in the back, there's no way for them to get to the back because it'll look pretty odd for them to climb over this center console. So the only other option you have is to install one of the seats in the rear, which I don't think is very convenient. There is one solution. You could get rid of this monstrous console. I'm sure the dealer can do it for you. And then you'd have a nice pathway here. Yes, you would be losing out on a lot of storage room, but then you'd have easy access into the back. Like most 3-row SUVs, there's no surprise that the 3rd row doesn't offer a lot of room for the passengers. I'd still say that the 3rd row would just be for short trips. With the 3rd row seats up, it's surprising that there isn't more room in behind them for cargo. One nice feature though is to lower or raise the seats, all you have to do is press these buttons. Under the hood of the QX80 is a 5.6 liter direct injected V8 engine, putting out 400 horsepower and 413 pound-feet of torque. Now, I'm just driving it around the city right now, and I can tell you one thing, they pretty well only need to make this pedal go down about a quarter throttle, because anything beyond that you really don't need, and you probably couldn't afford the gas along with it. This thing's got a lot of grunt. If you have to tow anything, no problem with the QX. 8,500 pound capacity, so that'll take care of most of your trailers, your snowmobile skidoos, or even boats. Now, when you're driving around in the city with a big vehicle like this, you'd think it'd be a little bit cumbersome because of its size. Well, believe it or not, this thing is extremely easy to drive. It drives like a large sedan, and that's mainly in part, first of all, you ride very high up. You got this big bulbous hood that you see, which is kind of cool. You see everything around you. In close quarters, you have the around view monitor, since there's cameras located around the vehicle. You can see a bird's eye view, you have a bumper view, rear bumper view. New to the QX is what they call hydraulic body motion control. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It uses hydraulic fluid to go on either of the shocks to stiffen them up, to keep the body at a more level angle. So if you're going around a right-hand corner, it's gonna stiffen up the left-hand side, so you won't get very much roll. But at the same time, it also works for vertical movement. So when you're actually putting the brakes on, you're not going to dive a lot, and you're not gonna kind of waver. And for uneven surfaces, it's gonna isolate you more from those type of bumps. Talk about quarter pedal and fuel economy. Well, this is a V8 engine putting out 400 horsepower, like I said, and it is almost 6,000 pounds. So is it any surprise that the fuel economy isn't going to be award-winning? It's rated for 16.9 liters in the city and 11.9 on the highway. Now, since I picked this up, I've only driven it in the city only. It's a lot of stop and go, and I hate to say it, but I'm over 20 liters per 100K, which, once again, I'm not surprised. Is this a luxurious ride? Considering that this is based on a truck platform, I'd say it's very luxurious. Under some conditions, it does have a little bit of a trucky feel. I think they really nailed it on the horsepower, the torque, along with this transmission, which, by the way, is a 7-speed automatic. It just seems like you're always in the right gear. You barely have to touch the pedal at all. Like I say, quarter pedal, that's all you need. My general driving impression of the QX80, for what this is, a 3-passenger, huge SUV with a lot of towing capacity, I think it drives great. The steering is very light, which some people will not like. It doesn't have the greatest feedback. The ride is not really sporty, but that's not what you're buying this vehicle for. This is not a sports car or a sports crossover. It is a luxury SUV that's extremely capable. The 2015 QX80 starts at $73,650, and it can go all the way up to about $90,000 depending on how you equip it. This one here is about $84,000 because it's equipped with the technology package. And what that includes, the optional 22-inch wheels, it has the hydraulic body motion control system that we talked about, and it has a slew of safety aids. Here's just a few to mention: backup collision intervention, lane departure warning, intelligent cruise control, distance control assist, adaptive front lighting system. Now those are just a few of the long list of safety features that it comes with. Is this a vehicle that you just pull up somewhere and just say, look at me, look at me? Well, in a way it is with the looks, as you can see, but there is a purpose for this vehicle. There's a lot of people out there that might need the 3 rows for passengers, and if you need to tow anything like a boat or trailer, 8,500 pound towing capacity, this is gonna get the job done. So, at the beginning I asked, is bigger better? Well, I'll always go for bigger, as long as I don't have to pay for the gas.